Welcome back, students. Now we will be continuing from part 2. So in the part 1 we have learned that how did HPS Ahluwalia has been given up his experience about the Mount Everest and his love for the mountain. So let's continue further. So he's saying, I have more personal answer to the question from my childhood. I have been attracted by mountains. I had been miserable, lost when away from the mountains and in the plain. So in the part 1 already it was been done that whenever this HPS Ahluwalia was been living up in the plain area, that time he had a great love and the liking for the mountain area. That time he used to feel very uncomfortable whenever he doesn't used to see the mountain. Mountains are the natures at its best. Their beauty and majesty pose a great challenge, and like many, I believe that mountains are the means of communal with God. So he believes that the mountains are one of the best thing that is a communal. Communication means having a close relation with the God. Now, once having granted this, the question remains, why Everest? Because it is the highest, the mightiest, and has defied many previous attempts. So, now the next question arises that he had a liking for climbing up the mountain, but why did he climb the Everest? Because this Mount Everest is the highest, the mightiest, and the defied. Defied means that no one can defy it. It takes the last ounce of one's energy. It is a brutal struggle with the rocks and ice. Brutal means hard struggle. So Mount Everest, it is a mixture of the rocks also and even with the ice also. So that time when they are climbing up the mountain, it is very harsh experience to climb the ice as well as the rock. Once taken up, it cannot be given up halfway, even when one's life is at stake. So, once you have decided to climb mountain, it is not possible to come back, because even though your life is in danger, but you cannot come. It is never and never possible to come back once you have decided to climb the Everest. The passage back is as difficult as the passage onward. So it is very difficult, even though when you are climbing the Mount Everest also it is more difficult, but when you are coming down it is more and more difficult as compared to going up. And then when the summit is climbed, there is an exhilaration, the joy of having done something, the sense of battle fought and won. So once if you have climbed the Mount Everest, that means you have won the battle, you have achieved one of the best thing in the life when you have climbed up the Mount Everest. There is a feeling of victory and happiness. Glimpsing a peak in the distance, the get transformed to the another world. So once if we have climbed the mountain, we have a feeling that we have reached the another world, because at the Everest it is completely different the way how we are living up in the plain area. The experience a change within myself, which can only be called a mysterical. Mysterical means it can be called a spiritual. So for the HPS Ahluwalia, the climbing up of the Everest was like a mysterical. By its beauty, aloofness, might, and rigidness. Rigidness means toughness. Even though the Mount Everest is very tough, but then too he had a great love when he climbed up the Everest. And the difficulties incurred on the way, the peak drawn me to it, as Everest did. It is a challenge that is difficult to resist. So he has accepted the challenge and he has won the challenge when he climbed up the Everest. Looking back, I find that I have not yet fully explained why I climbed the Everest. So still HPS Ahluwalia is not been clear to the answer, even though he has climbed the Everest, but then too the one question has arose in him, that is for what reason he had climbed the Everest. It is like answering a question, why you breathe, why do you help your neighbor, why do you want to go do good acts. There is no final answer possible. So climbing up of the Everest require a teamwork. So for the answer he only think that whenever we are climbing up the Everest, we are trying to help our neighborhood friend. Along with that, we keep on doing the good deeds. So these all are the answer which can give up the answer to the question that what reason we are climbing up the Everest. And then there is a fact that Everest is not just a physical climb. A man who has been to the mountain top become conscious of a special manner in his own smallness and in the large university. So he further say that the climbing up of the Everest is not only requires the physical effort, but it also requires the mental effort, and it makes up the oneness and create the love and the brotherhood qualities in the person. The physical conquest means the victory. So as we have completely achieved the physical victory of the mountain is only one part of the achievement. There is more to it than that. It was followed by the sense of fulfillment. There is a satisfaction of a deeper to rise above the one surrounding. It is the internal love for the adventure in man. The experience is not merely physical, it is emotional and spiritual. So here HPS Ahluwalia has considered his experience of climbing up the mountain to the spiritualness and the love for liking the mountain. Consider a physical climb towards the summit is the last height. You are sharing a rope with one climber. Now, as I told you before, climbing up the mountain requires the team spirit. So whenever the first person is been climbing, his follower keeps on following him. So it requires the teamwork. So here also, you are sharing a rope with one another's climber. You form in. Now you are in the company. Form means you are in the company where the one leads and the other follows. He cuts the shed of the hard ice and then he belays you to the inch your way up. Now the first person who is the leader, he keeps on cutting up the ice, making up the rope over there, and he is making it sure that the followers are there who has been following the leader. They would not find up any difficulty and they would climb up the Everest very easily. The climb is a grim. You strain every nerve as you take every step. So we feel as the ice is very slippery, so whenever you are climbing it, you feel very nervous that it might get fall. So it is also one kind of adventure. Famous climbers have left records to the help given by others. They all have also recorded how they needed just that help. So there were other person also previously who have climbed up the Everest, but they could not achieve the peak. So wherever they have reached, they have kept something. So it might be a symbol that the person had climbed this much amount. Else they might give up. Breathing is difficult. So as we all know that when we are climbing up the Everest from the above level, the oxygen is very less and the carbon dioxide is more. So it is very difficult to climb up the Everest. The breathing is very difficult. You curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. So when you are at such a condition, that time you will be blaming yourself that for what reason I have climbed here, because there is no oxygen and all the time the life is very harsh. So you will be keeping on cursing, or cursing means blaming yourself that you are in such a condition. You wonder why you ever undertook the ascent. There are the moments when you feel like going back. It would be sheer relief to go down instead of up. So at some point you come to such a condition that I should not climb it further and I will go back again. But going back again is more difficult than to climb up. But almost at once you snap out of that mode, there is something in you that does not let you give up. So, but on the other side, the positive energies will be attracting you more. You will be giving up all these negative sides and your motive will be just to climb up the mountain. And you go on. Your companion keeps you with you. So as it is a work of a team spirit, the people will be encouraging you more and more. You will be encouraging you, they will be encouraging you, so that you will be never been giving up and climbing up the Everest. Just another 50 feet or the 100 maybe. So they will be encouraging you, only the 50 feet we have to climb up, or the 100 they will be telling you the number, and completing the certain task, then they will be encouraging you more and more, again by calling them 50 feet more. You are asked yourself, is there no end? You look at your companion and he looks at you. You draw inspiration from each other, and then without first being aware of, you are at the summit. So as looking at each other, all the members, they will be keeping on encouraging themselves, and at last it is the victory that we have completed the peak. So here comes the end of the part 2. In the next video, the part 3.